So today I'm going to be talking about Loki, not the Marvel character, the actual Norse god. So yeah, I just thought since the Marvel show is quite popular right now, I thought I'd make a video on who the actual Loki was. So yeah, I'm gonna make this into two parts. A bit of this is gonna be just his origin, and then the next part, tomorrow, I'm gonna record his stuff he did. I mean, I'm going to mention a bit of both in each video, but the main focus of this one is going to be his origin. So yeah, let's get started. So, Loki, as you probably know, he is the god of mischief. He's quite known for being a trickster and playing pranks and, yeah, just really mischievous type. He, in actual Norse mythology, is not the brother of Thor. That's just comic stuff. He is the sworn brother of Odin, and it's just his name is now, it has negative connotations. You hear Loki and you think he's an evil guy, but well, he did kind of play in the death of the god Balder, and so this kind of set off Ragnarok, which is really the like a final destiny, I guess, in which the world of the gods is destroyed. I mean, if you've seen the Marvel movies, you probably can get an idea of what it is. And yeah, there is no real cult following of Loki, no real cult attached to him, but he was quite well followed during the Viking Age, but not of clear function. Well, he is still really significant and unique, and he is in the top three of the most mentioned Norse gods, the other two being Odin and Thor. So yeah, let's get started. So, first of all, well, where do we get the information? Because Loki, it's mythology, it's not like true, like completely true facts. We don't know if he actually existed or not, but there are some sources on it. So the main account where we can get information on who Loki was or who Loki could be is from Snorri Sturluson's prose, Ida, and this is from the year 1220 AD, and this is where you get a lot of information on Norse mythology. And well, of course, you have to keep in mind that when you read this, it is from the eyes of this dude living in the 13th century, and like a Icelandic dude just defending mythology from Christianity, because Christianity was becoming quite popular by this point in the 13th century. So he wanted to preserve this rich Norse mythology. Also, Loki has mentioned some other poems, and these poems would be heard by kings at court, and also just mainly poems. I want to name a few. Lokasina, and a word I cannot pronounce. I'm going to try Primskvida, but that was probably terrible. I apologize. Also, the Vofrudzinismal and the Grimnismal. I'm so sorry for anyone if you know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry. Please correct me. I am terrible at this. Anyway, he is present in a lot of poems. That's what you need to know. And, well, in terms of like the Saxo Grammaticus Gestidinorum, which is kind of the Germanic world part, he's not that present, which is kind of surprising. And, well, he's more, instead of being omnipresent, instead of being everywhere, he's more local, he's more regional, he's just in certain parts. But has no real. There's an equivalent of Loki in Germanic mythology. There is, like, he's there, but it's more him than any equivalent. Like Thor has, Odin has one, but Loki doesn't. So, of course, like I mentioned before, there is no real cult attached to Loki. So, in terms of physical evidence, that's hard because Thor, Odin, these guys, there is actual, like, temples and pieces of, you know, what is archaeology based around them. But Loki, there's literally nothing because there was no cult following. I mean, there were some things, but not to the extent that that Thor and Odin were. And yeah, so that is the sources. So now, a bit of the family main features. Well, he is, this really is kind of mentioned by passing in the Marvel, well, not by passing, but I'm just gonna say, if you've seen the Marvel movies, you're gonna recognize some names. I'm just gonna leave it there before I confuse you. So, he is the son, not of Odin, but of a giant called Thorboti and a mother named Lofi or Null. He had two brothers, Bielister and Helblindi, and had a wife called Sigyn, and he had a son called Nari or Narfi. So he had quite a significant family, not just a loner. Well, Loki, he is the god of mischief. He was not satisfied with the children and wanted more to just cause more mischief, I can imagine. So he had 3 more children, which were kind of unusual, kind of weird. And the mother was this giantess called Angerbada. That's one, that's one of the, yeah. So, that's the mother of the children, okay? The giantess. I just got, okay. Anyway, so that's the mother, the giantess Angerbada. And so, I'm going to tell you the names of the children. And again, if you know anything about the comics, you are going to be, and you know about this, your mind is going to be blown. So, one of the children is the wolf Fenrir, who appears in the 3rd Thor movie. This Midgard being Earth. I think Serpent, who crawls around the world, and last but not least, Hel, goddess of the underworld. In the Marvel movies, you know her as Hela, and she is the sister of Loki, not the daughter. And she wasn't part of the original Viking Age mythology. She was later addition, but still. There is my favorite part, and this is a lot of people's favorite part of Loki. He's a shapeshifter. He's kind of gender fluid. He just changes. He can change into different animals. Also, he can just change and become literally whatever. And he just becomes a mare, right? And gives birth to an 8-legged horse, fathered by a giant stallion. You don't see the Marvel comic character doing that, don't you? So shapeshifting, as you'll find out tomorrow, it's more it's really common with Loki. He just changes into a hawk a flea, a fly, literally whatever, a mare, a maiden, a hag, a salmon, a seal, literally anything. And it's just, it can be a male part of the species or it can be a female part of the species. It's just gender fluid, like it just goes back and forth. And I mean, it's literally like air creatures, land creatures, sea creatures, literally anything you can think of, Loki can change himself into that. And well, he's also being described as being really witty, having a sharp tongue, malicious tongue, and having wisdom, but cunning, and just kind of to use it for mischief. And yeah, that is the original, like, origins of Loki, I guess. Like, was a real Loki part one, little introduction. Yeah, that is pretty much it. I mean, there's literally not much else to say because like the good part is next. It's tomorrow's video. Because tomorrow I will tell you more about his adventures and stuff. But I wanted to give you a bit of background on who was the real Loki. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it good. Yeah, I guess. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.